Regardless of what others do.
The cocoon is lonely when you are a caterpillar forced to crawl on your belly. And you go into the cocoon. Oh, you go in a cocoon. You go into the cocoon. And you are alone. But when you exit, you are a beautiful butterfly. Ooh, upon your exit, you become a beautiful butterfly. It's a beautiful butterfly. So let them talk, let them speculate. All that they wanna. It's their own fault that they don't want to truly get to know me, bro. It's a damn shame how many people go out of their way to misunderstand me. It's a damn shame how people go out of their way to ignore me. All my life I was a caterpillar. Forced to crawl, bro. Forced to crawl. All the way into 2017, where I began to enter into the cocoon. Okay? 2017, I began to enter, well, I would actually say about 2019. 2019, I entered into the cocoon. Because it was 2016 that I was hearing the tugging and the call. 2017, I was listening, I was kind of obedient, you know, but I wasn't wholehearted yet. Even in 2019, you know, I still had to break the sexual immorality. Nevertheless, I was being obedient to come back to the pure covenant of no bloodshed. That's more important to the ever-presence of benevolence than even sexual immorality. Okay? Yeah. The spirit still yet will depart when you're in rebellion to your spiritual mission. Okay? Because, hey, if you refuse to give your humility to the maker of your spirit, the creator of your spirit, if you refuse to humble yourself to your creator and allow your creator to help you discover and accomplish your spiritual mission, if you buck against that and you refuse that, then the spirit will not continuously dwell with you. It will depart from you and leave you to your own devices. Okay? And it's as simple as that. Okay, so it was then, because my spiritual mission requires abstinence. Okay? My spiritual mission requires purity. Okay? Chastity. Alright? I am not married, and I'm not here to get physically married. I'm not here to be in any kind of romantic relationships. Okay? Romance, okay? Relationship. No sir, no ma'am. That ain't the love that I'm here to give. That's all dealing with lust. Okay? I'm here with the authentic, unconditional love. Okay? Compassion, kindness, mercy, empathy, generosity, purity, holiness, righteousness, all things benevolent. Okay? That's what I'm here demonstrating by my actions. And all while I've been in this cocoon, it's like I've been hidden away in this cocoon, but I have literally been demonstrating these actions, these attributes to the best of my ability. Okay? And applying the eternal living word to my life and living it. Okay? That's how I'm demonstrating these righteous attributes, these righteous fruits of the Spirit. Alright? All while being ignored and heavily misunderstood. Alright? Continuously mistreated. Alright? With the people who consider themselves to be righteous, feeling justified in their mistreatment. Feeling justified in deeming me arrogant. Feeling justified in deeming me a hypocrite. Simply because I was born in this world, being forced to pay money, but yet I don't put in my time, energy, and effort, my physical time, energy, and effort. I don't put that in to obtain this money that's being required from me. So, based upon that, they claim I'm evil. I'm evil because I don't do what I can for myself to obtain this money that's been required not only from me, but from all of humanity. Okay, at the expense of all of humanity and all of creation. Most of humanity wants me to spend my time, energy, and effort at my own damn expense for this money, so that I can turn around and pay this money to those who are demanding this money. Why are you mad at me, people? Why are you pissed off at me? You're not really pissed off at me. You know who you're pissed off at? You're pissed off at your conscience. Okay? You're pissed off at your righteous spirit. Okay? You're pissed off at your benevolent spirit. You're pissed off at your benevolent conscience. Okay? You're pissed off at your tender heart condition, because you know that, yes, if I'm not putting in my time, energy, and effort personally, to obtain this money, then those of you who did and have an abundance of accumulated life-sustaining resources, yes, you are obliged to assist me out of the abundance of your physical prosperity. Okay? But you don't want to do that. And this is what reveals your selfish mentality and heart condition. Okay? So, this is the separation of the wheat apart from the tares. Okay? Because this is the veil of the deception that has been done. Okay? All you real freaking selfish people, you are able to hide. You are able to hide amongst the many who are not really evil. They just don't know any better. And they've just been conditioned. Okay? They've been indoctrinated and conditioned all of their life. Okay? Nevertheless, they are still going to have some kind of humility. Alright? People got to be able to humble themselves and accept the fact that we were all born into a deception. Okay? And you're going to have to come to the realization, people, that we were all born into an illusion. A great deception that was here for generations before we even were a thought to come into this physical existence. Okay? This goes way back to 1492. Alright? When these lands were first invaded. Okay? When you want to scratch all the real history of what really happened on these lands and obscure the truth about who is really an American and who is really all the immigrants, when you want to obscure all of that, ignore all the atrocious deeds that happened to the original people upon these lands, then you can keep this great deception going. All while ignoring the great physical misery and long suffering of the original seed of this land. Okay? And your time's up for that. You're no longer making us you can no longer demonize us. You okay? Now, you know what, bro? Their gaslighting is astounding. Their narcissism is off the chain. Okay? Because they demonize us simply for wanting to be free from their tyranny. Okay? They claim that we got a victim mentality. Excuse me, but if you were the people who were forcefully and brutally invaded, having all your people raped and murdered, mistreated, okay, humiliated for centuries, and you never been restored as a people, would they be a victim? When they speak up about these things that happen to them, would you consider them to have a victim mentality? Or would you actually have some compassion within your mentality and your heart condition and be like, oh my God, wow, that's what happened to your people? That's horrible. It's horrible that your people have never been restored. It's horrible the circumstances that your people are still forced to live in until this day. Being ignored with contempt. Like people have the right to ignore us. People act like they have the right to dismiss us. They have the right to freaking just dismiss the fact that they are holding on to our lands, our heritage, our inheritance, and our resources. Everything that we were. They think that they can keep disregarding this as if we're ignorant. We are going to get back stolen from us. Okay? I'm sorry that you people don't want to accept the reproof and the rebuke. But this is exactly what he said that he was going to do in these days. How else would you hear your conscience? Most of humanity has seared their conscience and hardened their heart condition. Therefore, they need the meek, tender-hearted vessels of mercy that hear our conscience and are obedient unto it. We are the ones that are here to freely offer you a benevolent option. Okay? But it comes with action. It comes with physical action on your behalf. Any who want salvation from this wicked ass system. Okay? Because the true salvation is the restoration of the true obedient covenant remnant of this land. Okay? You're all upon this covenant land, thinking that you done replaced the original covenant seed of this land. How arrogant. But you want to call me arrogant. You only calling me arrogant because of the way that I speak. But you're not wanting to consider the reason why I speak the way I speak. You want to assume that it's all me. That it's just flesh and blood and bone. But no, it's spirit. You're hearing your conscience. And a conscience takes precedence over any vain wisdom of this satanic ass system. So all you people that want to stay attached to the so-called wisdom of this world, you feel some type of way. You feel like I'm stepping on your toes. You feel like I'm chastising you. You feel like I'm talking down to you. And all of these things. But it ain't you. I am talking down upon this system. I am bringing that reproof by way of the Spirit. I am chastising the evil actions, the evil mentality, and the evil heart condition. Okay? That's what I'm instructed to do. And ain't nobody gonna change what I've been instructed to do. So you people can believe all you want, okay? True salvation is our restoration, okay? And all nations that want a benevolent option to be spared from the destruction of this wicked ass system and the judgment of those who constructed and upheld this system over us, you're going to have to renounce this wicked ass system and join with us. For real, by your actions. It has to be a mentality and a heart condition change. Okay? You have to change. You have to actually allow the ever-presence of benevolence to operate within your mentality and within your heart condition. Okay? Your mentality have to be geared by humility to the Holy Spirit, which is the eternal living word that's been embedded within our conscience. Okay? That's first and foremost. Okay? You must be humble to that. Because if you're not humble to that, and you humble yourself to some vain wisdom and ideology of mortal men that you done learned all your life, holding to a deception, you are sealing your fate for great destruction. Alright? It starts with humility to your conscience. Alright? Everything that I'm speaking to you is already within you. It ain't like I'm giving you something different that's outside of you. Okay? You gotta go back to how you were when you were a child. Go back to how you were when you were a child. Okay? Unlearn the vain wisdom of this world that is all about money and materialistic things, status, clout, and honors of mortal men, building a successful life for yourself. You're going to have to unlearn all that, because all that is the mentality of the worst of the heathen. And that heart condition will get you great destruction. That will put you in misery for a long continuance. Okay? You will reap great misery for a long continuance with that heart condition. Alright? Because that's what you're upholding. Especially over the meek, tender-hearted vessels of mercy. We're the ones who you want to show some mercy. We're the ones whom you want to show love. We're the ones whom you want to be compassionate. We're the ones whom you want to be kind unto. We're the ones whom you want to be generous. You don't want to betray us. You don't want to be treacherous unto us. But this is exactly the life that we've lived. We've lived a treacherous life due to the majority of the population that felt compelled to conform to this evil ass system. Okay, they did it for their own self-preservation, but they did not take into consideration the few of us who were different. We've had the hardest life. We've endured the most mistreatment. We've endured the most sadness. I've lived a life of sorrow. I am one of the ones that sighed continuously. To this day, I have a total of 62 cents to my name that's in my checking account. I have no other funds. Hardly no one has shown compassion unto me. I've gotten all of the opposite attributes of the righteous fruits of the Spirit. I've gotten a hell of a lot of hatred, a hell of a lot of jealousy, envy, spite, resentment. Why are you allowing these demons to make yourselves adversaries against me? I'm not your enemy. I'm here to help you. Why do you keep hardening your heart against me? Why do you keep searing your conscience against infinite loving kindness and all things benevolent? I have been patiently waiting for the righteous ales to take their place. I don't know who you are. I know the vast majority of you are of the other nations. Okay? Yeah, the vast majority of the righteous ams that the Eternal Father Mother has set apart for the obedient covenant Yahudim. The obedient covenant remnant of this land are predominantly of all the other nations, okay? Especially the Gentile nations, the Europeans, the Caucasians, okay? Yes, the vast majority will be Caucasian. The vast majority of these righteous ams will look outwardly like Caucasians. But yes, there will be some other nations mixed and mingled in there, taking their place as the righteous ams. These are the nations that obtain the physical prosperity. Okay? And they will begin to sponsor the meek, tender-hearted, vessels of mercy. They will begin to support our righteous spiritual mission. We won't want or need for anything physically, for they will make sure that we have everything and that we are happy continuously. They will free us up from having to come up with that which is being demanded from us. Now, how benevolence is going to do this, I can't say exactly. Okay, I can't say exactly, but just recently I have come into some more information. I had never heard this before, by the way. I had never heard of Nasara. Okay? Anyway, apparently, the Pope wrote a letter back in 2014 addressing the president at that time, which was Obama, letting him know that it was time for them to begin to cease and desist this de facto government that literally fraudulently took over this land, okay? Fraudulently took over this land. This connects to the prophecy of the half a time, okay? Where Satan will literally set up his kingdom over here upon this land, okay? That was the system we were born in, all right? This was the Federal Reserve that began acting in like that. There was no, they weren't answering to anybody. Okay, they answered to themselves. They are the ones that set themselves in authority and created an economic system where they enslaved the population, and they really got their firm grip after the Civil War under the pretense of freeing us as the quote-unquote slaves. But instead of freeing us, they opened up these lands to all the other immigrants from all the other lands that they call the third world countries, okay? Wherever you came from, all right? All the Caucasians came around the 1700s into the all the way through into the 1900s. Okay, so after the Civil War is when they started bringing in who they wanted to classify as Native Americans. Okay, so they started immigrating these. Okay, so this is how they began to slowly but surely replace the original people of this land. Okay, which is us, whom they reclassified as colored, mulatto, Negro, black, African American, foundational black American, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So anyway, let me go back to what I was saying about after the Civil War. After the Civil War, and they started replacing us with whom they wanted to call the Native Americans, and they had the $5 Indian, okay, on the Dawes Roll and all of this, okay? They came up with this quantum blood law, okay? This is how they disconnected us from claiming any kind of part of this land, even though we are the actual original seed of this land. They started classifying us as African, okay? And so then, after the Civil War and all of these things, okay, instead of freeing us, okay, instead of freeing us, calling us a freed black people, or whatever they called us, instead of really freeing us from slavery, what they did was enslave not only us, but all the other nations whom they invited to this land to work for their fiat currency. Okay? And this is how they enslaved all of humanity. And we, as the seed of this land, we were the ones that they used as collateral for their debt system. So everybody that has came over here to earn money for a living, in essence, live your American dream, guess what? It was all at our expense. Okay? And then you want to have a corrupted mentality of white supremacy and a hardened heart condition, looking your nose down at us. Oh, you black people always looking for a handout. When everything you have was built off of us being forced to lay our bodies as the ground and as the street for all of you nations to trample continuously for centuries. You want to say that you don't owe us anything? You've been complacent with seeing. You've been blatantly seeing how these people have been treating us. You've been blatantly seeing how this government has been treating us. You've seen how we have not gotten any real justice. You see that we're not really free. Okay? Because the vast majority of our people are in poverty. Okay? And to this day, you want to look your nose down at us being like, oh, you food stamp babies. Oh, you dependent upon the government. Why is that? Because this de facto government literally established itself by brute force after destroying us and disenfranchising us, stripping away our livelihood by brute force. Okay? So when you ignore all that, when you ignore all the history of that, and you don't want to deal with that, of course you can just go with whatever narrative you want to go with. Continuously demonizing us, calling us lazy, because we don't have a mentality and heart condition geared after physical money, physical prosperity. We're the spiritual people. And now we're here to give all you carnal-minded people an option to change from your carnal mentality to a spiritual mentality, to unharden your heart condition and receive a tender heart. Receive a tender heart condition. Receive a tender heart condition. It's your choice. But this system don't give you a benevolent option. This system gives you the lesser of the two evils. They ain't benevolent. I'm giving you a benevolent option. But you want to look your nose down upon me and act like ain't no such thing. And what makes you think you have the right to give the benevolent option? Because I'm not one of the ones that are puffed up in my pride and arrogance. I'm not one of the ones that's walking around here with all the physical prosperity, thinking that I'm better than people. I ain't the one walking around here with man-made mortal weapons, taking matters into my own physical hands. That's what I saw for. Eternal wealth. That's what I have. So, you want to keep ignoring me, that's your problem. Okay? It's only my problem temporarily.
I also see the other part of my people, the faithful.
Alright? It's only my problem temporarily, physically. Alright? But I trust in my God. So anytime, he can overturn my captivity. That's what I look for. I look for the overturning of my captivity from my God, the benevolent God. Not the malevolent God that's constantly demanding that we earn money and save money and pay money for our living. Okay, money didn't create this earth. Money didn't create my spirit. It didn't create my soul. It didn't even create my fleshly body. So, you can't force me to live my life for money. You got me bent.